Most men will never realize it. A woman can be completely, deeply, embarrassingly crazy about a man, and he'll walk away thinking she's just being friendly. That's not a dating problem. That's a perception problem. And today, I'm going to fix it. Here's something that keeps women up at night. Not the man who ignores them. Not the one who never texts back. What keeps a woman up at night is the man she's already shown everything to, through the way she greets him. And he didn't even notice. If a woman greets you like this, she is crazy about you. Not kind of interested. Not mildly curious. Crazy. About you. And I know that sounds intense. But stay with me, because by the end of this, you're going to look back at women in your past, women you may have let walk away, and realize they were practically handing you a signed confession of their feelings every single time they said hello. Most men are taught to look for big, obvious signals. They wait for a woman to say the words out loud, or to make the first move, or to send a text that basically reads, "I like you. Please like me back." But that is not how women communicate attraction. That has never been how women communicate attraction. Women are psychological. They're layered. And the greeting, that first 5 to 10 seconds when she sees you, is where every single layer shows itself all at once. So I'm going to break this down for you, signal by signal. And some of what I'm about to tell you is going to feel surprising. Some of it might feel uncomfortable because you'll recognize moments you completely missed. But there's one greeting behavior in particular, I'll get to it later, that is arguably the single clearest sign a woman is falling for you. And almost every man on the planet misreads it as something else entirely. Let's get into it. The greeting is never just a greeting. Let's start here. When two people who are neutral toward each other meet, coworkers, acquaintances, strangers, the greeting is functional. It's a social checkbox. Hey, done. Nobody's pulse changes. Nobody's posture shifts. But when a woman is crazy about a man, the greeting becomes something she has been mentally rehearsing, sometimes without even knowing it. Her nervous system is already activated before you've said a single word, and that activation leaks out everywhere. The first thing to look for is what her body does before she speaks. Watch what happens the moment she spots you. Does she wait for you to come to her? Or does her body automatically orient itself in your direction, and she takes even 1 or 2 steps toward you before catching herself? That forward lean, that micro movement toward you, it's not something women consciously control. It's pull. Literal, physical, biological pull. Attraction, at its core, is a directional force. And when a woman is genuinely crazy about you, her body gets the memo before her brain approves it. Some women will catch themselves doing this and quickly correct it. They'll stop, pretend they were adjusting their bag, act like they were heading somewhere else. That self-correction? That's actually a second signal layered right on top of the first. She's aware of her feelings. She's managing them in real time. That is not something you do about someone you don't care about. Timing matters here. A polite smile happens when you make eye contact or when you say something. It's a response. But a woman who is crazy about you, her smile starts before that. The moment she sees you, before you've seen her, before you've spoken, sometimes before you've even made eye contact, her face is already doing something it didn't do a second ago. It's involuntary. And it's one of the most honest things the human face can produce. There's research behind this. When we experience anticipatory reward, meaning when we're about to interact with something or someone our brain genuinely values, the smile response activates early. It's a neurological preview of pleasure. And you cannot fake the timing of it. So if you've ever caught a woman smiling at you from across a room before she even knew you'd noticed her, you weren't imagining it. That was her brain celebrating the fact that you exist nearby. This next one is subtle but devastating in its accuracy. When a woman is crazy about someone, the pitch of her voice shifts slightly upward in the greeting. Not in a childish way, in a soft, almost musical way. Vocal warmth. Some scientists call this prosodic modification. In plain language, it means her voice naturally becomes more expressive, more melodic, more alive when she's talking to someone she feels something for. And the most telling moment? It's the very first word. Hey. Hi. Oh, hey, you. Whatever it is, listen to how she says it versus how she says it to everyone else. To the coworker she's neutral about, her hey is flat. To you, it has texture. It has color. It's not louder or more performative, it's warmer. Like the word itself is glad it got to be said to you. Now here's where it gets more interesting, because we need to talk about the signals that men consistently misread. And the first one is going to reframe a pattern you've probably experienced more than once. Pay close attention here. There is a category of women who, when they are deeply attracted to someone, become noticeably cooler in their greeting. Shorter sentences, less eye contact in that first moment. A kind of efficiency in how they say hello, almost like they're in a hurry, almost like you're not that important. And men see that and they think, she's not interested. Wrong. What's actually happening is one of the most psychologically revealing things a woman can do. When the feelings are intense, when she's genuinely crazy about you, the vulnerability of greeting you is almost overwhelming. The greeting is the moment where she is most exposed. She can't hide behind a long conversation or a story or a joke yet. It's just her and you and those first few seconds, and if she cares too much, those seconds feel like standing on a ledge. So she protects herself. She keeps it short, she keeps it cool, she moves on quickly. And all the while, there is a version of her internally running a highlight reel of every interaction you've ever had. The key differentiator? She keeps coming back. A woman who is genuinely indifferent doesn't give you a cold greeting. She gives you a forgettable one. If her greeting has a charge to it, even a cold charge, you are not forgettable to her. Not even slightly. Here's something women don't talk about enough, but men need to understand. When a woman is crazy about you, her greeting will often include a reference to something small, something specific, that she had no reason to remember unless she was paying close attention to you. You got a haircut. Is that a new jacket? You look tired? Rough week? Now, on the surface, that sounds like small talk, and if it came from someone neutral, it would be. But from a woman who's been holding feelings she hasn't said out loud, that observation is an act of intimacy she's offering you in plain sight. She's telling you, without telling you, I watch you, I notice you. You are not background noise to me. This is enormously significant. Because attention is not free. People track the things they value. And when a woman catalogs the small details of your appearance, your energy, your patterns, and then voluntarily surfaces that information in a greeting, she is showing you the inside of her mind. She just wrapped it in casual conversation so it doesn't feel so terrifying. If a woman consistently notices things about you that others don't, she is not just observant. She is specifically observant about you. That distinction matters. Now let's talk about physical greetings, because this is where the real information lives, and where men are most likely to get it completely wrong. There are approximately 4 types of hugs in the context of attraction. The first is the side hug. Quick, angled, low contact. This is the hug of friendliness without intimacy. It means she is comfortable with you, but it does not mean she is crazy about you. The second is the standard frontal hug. Brief, a pat or two on the back, then release. Warm but contained. Still not your answer. The third, and this is where it starts getting interesting, is the hug that lingers 1 beat longer than it needs to. She doesn't pull back at the normal moment. There's a slight pause. And that pause is not accidental. Humans are extraordinarily good at calculating social timing. We know when a hug is done by instinct. When she doesn't let go at that moment, she's choosing not to. She is choosing 1 more second of being near you. But the fourth type is the one that tells you everything and somehow manages to hide in plain sight. It's the hug where she presses in, not just wraps around, where her head drops slightly, maybe toward your shoulder, where the exhale that comes out of her during that hug is just a little too real, a little too relieved. Like she's been waiting to do this since the last time she saw you, even if the last time was yesterday. Women who are deeply attracted to a man hug him like they're refueling. There's no other word for it. It's not about the physicality. It's about the psychological release of finally being close to the person your nervous system has been quietly orbiting. And men feel this. They just rarely know what they're feeling. They just know that particular hug felt different. It always does. Here's the one I promised you at the beginning, the one that gets misread almost universally. When a woman is crazy about you, there will be a moment in the greeting where she holds eye contact with you slightly past the comfortable point. Not staring, not aggressive, just She doesn't look away when a neutral person would. Most men experience this and assume she's just a confident person. Or they don't notice it at all because they themselves look away first. But here's the truth about sustained eye contact in a greeting. It is one of the most vulnerable things a person can offer another person. Eye contact at that duration says, I am willing to be seen by you. I am not hiding right now. Look at me. And from a woman who hasn't said out loud that she likes you, who might be working incredibly hard to seem cool or casual or unaffected, that eye contact is her one honest moment. Her feelings are sitting right there in that gaze, offered and then quickly pulled back behind a smile or a change of subject. There's neuroscience that supports this. Prolonged mutual gaze triggers oxytocin release, the bonding hormone, in both people. Meaning a woman who holds your gaze in a greeting is not just showing you her feelings. She is also, quite literally, deepening her own attachment to you in real time. She is falling a little more, right there in the hello. And if she then laughs or looks away with a small smile after that moment, that's the exhale. That's her putting the lid back on something she almost let you see entirely. One more thing, and this one's quick, but it matters. When a woman greets you and uses your name, not because it's necessary, not because there are multiple people she could be addressing, that name is not casual. People do not use names the way they used to. In most casual adult interaction, names get dropped. You just say, hey, or you make eye contact, the name is extra. When she says your name, she's doing something intimate. She's connecting the sound that belongs to you specifically to the moment of being in your presence. Your name, in her mouth in that greeting, is her acknowledging you as a specific, significant, irreplaceable individual. Not just a person she's saying hi to. You. If she says your name with a warmth that doesn't quite match the casualness of the setting, you already know what it means. Here's what I want to leave you with. Attraction is not a declaration. It rarely arrives with a speech or a confession or a grand moment that makes everything obvious. Most of the time, attraction is 1,000 tiny transmissions, sent constantly, sent quietly, through exactly the kinds of behaviors I just described to you. Women are not mysterious because they want to be. They're communicating through a language that was never properly translated for the men they were hoping would receive it. The greeting is her opening line. Not in the conversation, in the confession she hasn't figured out how to say yet. Every hug that lasted a second too long, every smile that started before you looked up, every time she noticed something small about you and couldn't help but say it, that was never small talk. That was intimacy being offered in the only packaging that felt safe at the time. And here's the mindset shift I want you to walk away with. Attraction is already visible. You just needed new eyes. The men who seem to effortlessly understand women aren't picking up on extraordinary signals. They're paying attention to ordinary moments with extraordinary presence. Be present. Be perceptive. And the next time a woman greets you, don't just hear what she says. Watch what her whole being does in those first few seconds. That's where the truth lives. That's where she already told you everything. Now, if this opened your eyes, there is something else you need to see right now. Because everything we talked about today is about reading the signs in front of you. But what about the person you'd never expect? What about the one who has been holding feelings for you quietly, consistently, for longer than you realize, and you've never once suspected them? That video is up next. It's called You Won't Believe Who's in Love with You. Their name starts with FemalePsychology, and I genuinely think it's going to change the way you see someone very specific in your life. Tap it. You'll see what I mean.